So today I want us to have a discussion around PocketBase. As you can see, it's an open source backend. So it means as you're creating your application, you can just define your schema, and out of the box you'll get an API and access to a database. So they are providing four things. Number one, real-time database, authentication, built-in, file storage, and an admin dashboard. So for today, I just want us to look at the item itself, the product itself. As you can see, it's open source, and they go ahead and they give you a link to their GitHub. We can poke around just before we download and install and see what runs it, what is in its DNA, so to speak. So I like looking around the repository, unofficial repository of a product. It gives me a sense of how well is this particular product maintained. So as you can see, when I'm scrolling around, there's commits that are 3 months old, 2 months old, 7 months, last week. I could easily just click on commits and see what has been happening. So you can see last week, lock the logs database during backup, fix admin UI is empty check. So you can see there have been a couple of commits which tell you that this particular product has an active community. So for example, let's check this fix admin UI. If we click on it, and I'm just digressing, you'll see what was worked on, what was added. They changed the version. You can see from 19 to 20. The comments there, a couple of JavaScript here and there. So this looks like Svelte. So without further ado, let us just go to the summary of PocketBase and see a brief highlight of what it is technically. So you can see, let's just start from the top here. They have 39.2k stars. It means it has garnered quite some attention from the open source community. The 219 guys are watching for any changes. 1.8k forks. That's incredible for an open source product which is targeting the SaaS end of use cases for backend as a service. We can scroll down and you can see the people who are using it, the contributors. You have 49 contributors. It's a good number for a start. And the technologies, the languages, Golang 65.8%. So it has to tell you that Golang is the key thing. Then we have Svelte 19.2%. Actually, Svelte is just the front end framework. And we have CSS, SAS, JavaScript 3.1%. JavaScript and Svelte, I don't know, because Svelte runs on JavaScript. Then we have HTML 0.1%. So it's a product that certainly done using Golang. So we can scroll down to where the begins. So it says PocketBase is an open source Go backend. As you can see, it's a Go backend, consisting of embedded database SQLite with real-time subscriptions, built-in files and user management, convenient admin dashboard, a simple-ish API. So let's see. Let's download it. Go to the documentation and see how you get it. Immediately you see there's something they have highlighted in red. They need you to read that. They are telling you basically that this is under development and backward compatibility is not guaranteed. As I said, the stars we have seen there, 30 something K, 39 point something K for a start are good, right? I have not seen many backends that are open source. So this one, I can compare it to what Google have with, what do they call it? Something base. Google document base real-time DB. Firebase, yeah. So you can compare it with Firebase. It's actually an alternative to Firebase, and just click on download and let's see what happens from there. So I'll go to my file system and downloads. So I already have it under downloads. So what you do, you unzip it once it downloads. If you are running on a Mac, then download the version that is meant for Mac. So this is the application. So I've done a CD into, I've changed the directory to where the setup is. So ideally, this is a command prompt. This is a terminal based application. So I'll bring up my bash over here. And now we can start playing around with it. So here I'll say PocketBase exe, then help. So always run to help and see what you can get from that. It's essentially a documentation in the terminal. So the available commands here, we have admin, migrate, serve, and update. Admin, you manage the admins using that. Migrate, execute appdb, migration scripts. You're basically creating database objects per se. If it's tables that you need to initialize, you will use migrate. So serve will start the web server, and update automatically updates the current app executable with the latest available version. So I'm thinking we begin with migrations. Anytime you see an application has a migration, it could have an area, a component of initiation. So let's see. PocketBase, migrate, then help. Let's see. Just before you run anything, try to see whether there's something you need to know about it. So migrate, the supported arguments are up, run all available migrations, down, revert last applied migrations, last number. So you have to add the number. Could be if it was the first one is, let's say, 0, the second one 1 or so. But I don't know, probably it starts with, the number starts with 1, 2, 3, 4. That's what I'm guessing. Then create name, create a new blank migration template file. Collection, create a new migration file with snapshot of local collection configuration. History sync, ensure the migration history table doesn't have reference to deleted migration files. So you're basically synchronizing it. So run all available migrations. So what I'll do, I'll say app. So I'll assume it has migrations for initiating the backend, the database layer. So we'll say PocketBase migrate. Why can't I type migrate app? Yeah. So as you can see, all migration files are in .go. They are .go files. So this is where you can see you normalize single multiple values, add index column, check foreign key, normalize single. All these are basically, if you go into them, you'll see they are SQL related scripts. So you can see add login alert column. They're basically creating database objects, whether it's a whole table, it's a column that you're adding or something. So that is what happens. Now we need an admin. So let's say PocketBase, then admin help. So again, remember, admin is one of those commands we have seen at the parent level. Then the usage, manage admin accounts. The usage is PocketBase admin, then commands. Let's see the available commands. You have create, delete, update. Self-explanatory again. So let's see what create has. So we'll do PocketBase admin, then create again, the help switch. So as you can see, the usage for the create command is you have to do a username in the form of an email address and a password. So let's do it. So it's PocketBase create, then frankjam@gmail.com, then we do a password, Francis123. Now let's see the other options available. And remember, now we have successfully created a new admin, Frank Jam. We've successfully created an admin, as you can see at the very top. It's time for us now to look into the third option of serving our front end, so that we can see the interface with which we will interact as we build out our backend. Now what I'll do, I'll get options for the serve command. Let's see. We run PocketBase serve, then H. So then for the help, so as you can see, there are a couple of flags. Have they done a usage? So usage is PocketBase command, usage. So we can do a domain if we have one, and then the flags. So let's see. The flags are auto migrate, dev string, encryption environment, and encryption environment is a string. And you have hooks directory, hooks pool, hooks watch, index fallback. And we will talk about hooks and how they are defined and their application. But for now, we just wanted to operationalize our PocketBase and ensure that we are able to download it and run it on our machines, on our local machines. Remember, it's an installable backend as a service, and we said it rivals Google's Firebase, which is paid for. So without further ado, let us just run our let's just run the serve command by default and see how it all pans out. So PocketBase serve, and you can see they have given us a URL. So we have a REST endpoint URL and an admin URL. So we were most interested in seeing how the admin URL looks like and see whether we can log into it with the admin we just created. So let's go to our browser. So it's 127.0.0.1/ and it's 8090. Then we have an underscore, 8090, an underscore, enter. So there you have. So they're saying the request requires, okay. Yeah, so we need to log in as an admin basically, and as you can see, this is the URL we have logged into, the 8090 slash then an underscore. So let's see. My username, then my password. Oh, this is incomplete. Remember, it should be an email. Now, there we are. We've logged in inside the admin area. This is where now you can define, you can add your users, you can create collections. A collection is, you can view it as a table. So you can see we have highlighted the users. The user collection has an ID, has username, has email, name, avatar, which is an image, and created and updated it. In fact, we can create a record before we go to creating a new collection of our own. So ID, I wanted to auto generate. You can see they are telling us in the placeholder leave empty to auto generate, and that is what I'll do. So I'll give a username and an email. So I'll say I'll give an email address and a password. Yeah. Now you see the email, make email public or private. So it's public is off. So if I toggle that, then it changes to public on. So I don't want it to be viewed publicly, so I can turn it off. And this user should verify, or should be marked as verified or not verified. So this is mostly used to ensure that the users who are signing up, they own the email addresses that they have used. So I would just say create. So that user is created. You can see the ID is auto generated. Ideally, it provides you with a table now, and there's an API that you could use to populate this. Now let's create our own collection, and we will call it sales. So as you can see, where in the field area of this accordion of these tabs, so you have fields and you have API rules. So under API rules, you say all rules follow PocketBase filter syntax and operators. So we will come back to the API. Let us first deal with creating our new collection. So you see the collection is like a table. So for sales, it's saying we have 3 system fields: ID, created, updated. So let's create our custom fields. I'll begin with plain text. Then I'll call these item. Now item should I'll assume. No, I'll change these. Let me just change it. So let's see whether I can change it or not. Let me just cancel. No, let me add now. Called sales. Then we'll say ID number. So we'll say item ID. I'll assume now we'll have an items table. So item ID. Then we can't make it an index. We'll add another field. We'll call it item price. So let me see. Now we just do quantity. Price can be, we can do a relationship for that. We say quantity. Quantity should be a number. Let's see, can we change it? Let me see. No decimal. It should not have decimals. So this is quantity. We're trying to simulate how to create a database. How to create a database table. Oh, it has created. We need to add more fields. Let me see. Yeah, we can click on the gear icon at the top, and then we could add fields. So this is quantity. We could have add a field. I don't want to overthink this table. I just want it to be simple. Say total price, total price, and then that's it. Quantity, total price. Yeah, or let me just assume we don't have any items table, so I'll want to remove these and I want to amend this table. I want to assume we do not have items. Let me not normalize at this level. So where can I change? Let me just remove it and add a new one. Let's say plain text. We'll say item description. Then we have quantity. Then we'll say price. Price should be a number. Price. Then I'll say total number. This is total price, and you can save. Yeah, you remove that. So we have ID, we have quantity, we have item description. So let's add a new record. So we'll leave it empty. We'll leave it to be auto generated, the ID. So quantity will say that, item description, say cooking oil, price will say 200, the total price is 400. Create. So as you can see, it has created for us the created and updated, and the ID is there. Now, if we were to create a system, ideally we would have an items table, and we would calculate the price based on the quantity. But here we were simply demonstrating how you bring to life PocketBase and how you access the admin interface. So with that, I want to thank you for allowing yourself time to be introduced to PocketBase and to see what we talk about when we say there's a platform, an open source platform that is offering backend as a service. The next discussion around PocketBase will delve into the APIs and how you can leverage using APIs from this backend as a service. Thank you.